Judge number 2 from Italy, Davide Lorenzini. Judge number 3 from Norway, Helge Tuxen. Judge number 4 from Egypt, Osama Costa. Judge number 5 from the Netherlands, Harry van Etten. And your referee is also from the Netherlands, Frits Adelmeijer. We're going to start the finals. First diver on the board for Fram Odense, Jonas Madsen, is going to do a forward 1.5 somersaults with 1 twist in a free position. The scores are 6.5, 7, 6.5, 5.5, 7. Nathan Bergland for Royal Ghent Swimming Club is going to make a back 1.5 somersaults piked. And he scores 7, 7, 6.5, 6, 6.5. Philip Devor for Baurum Stubbeklub is going to make a reverse 1.5 somersaults with 1.5 twists in a free position. And he's got 6.5, 7.5, 7, 7, 6. Dylan Vork for the Netherlands is going to make an inward 2.5 somersaults with tuck. And Dylan scores 6.5, 7.5, 7, 6.5, 6.5. Also for the Netherlands, Pascal Vaats, he's going to make an inward 1.5 somersaults piked. And he scores 7, 7, 7, 6, 7.5. Next diver on the board is from National Centre Dublin, Oliver Dingley. He's going to make an inward 1.5 somersaults piked. And Oliver scores 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 7.5, 8. Round 2. Jonas is going to make a forward 2.5 somersaults piked. And he scored 7, 7, 6.5, 6.5, 7. Nathan is going to make a forward, 2.5 somersaults, piked. Seven, 7.5, 7, 7, 7. Philip is going to make a reverse 2.5 somersaults with tuck. And he scored 3.5, 4.5, 3.5, 4.5, 3.5. Dylan is going to make a forward 2.5 somersaults spiked. From all judges, 7. Pascal is going to make an inward 2.5 somersaults with tuck. Pascal scored 7, 6.5, 6.5, 7, 6, 7. Oliver is going to make an inward 2.5 somersaults with tuck. And Oliver scores 8, 7.5, 8, 7.5, 7.5. Round 3. Jonas is going to make an inward 1.5 somersault spiked. And he scored 6, 6, 6.5, 6.5, 6.5. Nathan is going to make a forward 1.5 somersaults with 2 twists in a free position. Six and a half, 7, 6, 6, 6. Philip is going to make a back 1.5 somersaults spiked. And he scores 6.5, 6.5, 6.5, 7.5, 7. Dylan will make a forward 3.5 somersaults with tuck. And he scores 4, 4, 4, 4.5, 4.5. Pascal will make forward 2.5 somersaults spiked. And he scores 7.5, 8, 8, 7.5, 7. Oliver is going to make a forward 3.5 somersaults with tuck. And he scores 8.5, 8, 8, 7.5, 8. Round 4. Jonas is going to make a back 1.5 somersaults spiked. Jonas scores 5, 5.5, 5.5, 6, 5.5. Nathan is going to make a reverse 1.5 somersaults spiked. And he scored 7, 7.5, 7, 7.5, 6.5. Philip is going to make a forward 2.5 somersaults spiked. And he scores 6.5, 6.5, 7, 6.5, 6. Dylan is going to make a back 2.5 somersaults with tuck. And he scores 5.5, 6, 5.5, 6, 5.5. Pascal's going to make a reverse 2.5 somersaults with tuck. And Pascal scores 7.5, 7.5, 7, 8, 7.5. And also Oliver is going to make a reverse 2.5 somersaults with tuck. And the scores for Oliver, 8, 8.5, 7.5, 8.5, 8.5. And at this stage of the competition, after 4 rounds, the rankings are as you can see them on the big screen. Oliver in first place at the moment, followed by Pascal, Dylan, Nathan, Philip and Jonas. And we're going to round 5. Jonas is going to make a reverse 1.5 somersaults piked. And his scores are 4.5, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5, 5.5. Nathan is going to make an inward 1.5 somersaults piked. And Nathan scores 7, 7.5, 8, 7, 7.5. And also Philip is going to make an inward 1.5 somersaults piked. And he scores 7.5, 7.5, 7, 7, 7. Dylan is going to make a reverse 2.5 somersaults with tuck. And he scores 7.5, 7, 6.5, 7.5, 6.5. Pascal's going to make a back 2.5 somersaults with tuck. And he scores 5.5, 5, 5, 5.5, 4.5. Oliver is going to make the same dive, back 2.5 somersaults with duck. And Oliver scores 7, 7.5, 7, 7.5, 6.5. Round 6, last round of this finals. Jonas is going to make a forward 1.5 somersaults with 2 twists in a free position. And he scores 6.5, 7, 6.5, 6.5, 7. Nathan is going to make an inward 2.5 somersaults with duck. And he scores 6, 6, 6, 6.5, 7.5. Philip is going to make an inward 2.5 somersaults with duck. And Philip scores 6.5, 7, 6.5, 6.5, 6. Dylan is going to make a forward 2.5 somersaults with 1 twist piked. And he scores 7, 6.5, 6.5, 6, 7. Pascal is going to make a back 1.5 somersaults with 1.5 twists in a free position. Seven, 6.5, 7, 7, 7. Last diver on the board in this final, Oliver, he's going to make a forward 2.5 somersaults with 1 twist piked. And all of us scores 7.5, 8.5, 7.5, 8, 8. This was the last dive in this final. Thank you, judges. Thank you, secretaries. And on the big screen you can see the results. Oliver Dingley won this final, followed by Pascal Vaats in second place. In third place, Dylan Vork. In fourth place, Nathan Bakeland. In fifth place, Philip Devor. And in sixth place, Jonas Madsen. The medal ceremonies will follow as soon as possible.